no way that Dan was Gossip Girl. I just finished watching Gossip Girl last month, and I already knew going in that Dan was revealed as Gossip Girl, and as I was watching, I was looking for hints that suggest that Dan was actually Gossip Girl, and this man was just as clueless as the rest of them. This man did not know who Gossip Girl was, and I have 3 big reasons why it wasn't him. One was him not writing about Nate being homeless. In season 1, when Nate's family lost all their money, he was literally sleeping on the floor. Dan found out and offered to help him out. So why did he not write about that in Gossip Girl? And remember, this is the guy who wrote nasty stuff about his supposed love of his life. He literally wrote that Serena might have an STD while he was still pursuing her. So he can write about that and not write about Nate being homeless, despite them not having any meaningful relationship in season 1. Heck, I would even take Nate as Gossip Girl, which would explain why his character was so damn boring. Probably why he was never written in Gossip Girl in the first place. And why were they trying to frame it as him being a good guy, and that's why Gossip Girl never wrote about him. This man was a womanizer. He was cheating on Blair with Serena, he played with Vanessa's feelings, was messing around with Jenny. I mean, this man literally has no other identity other than the women he's involved with. Number 2, that Jenny knew all along that Dan was Gossip Girl. Really? This whole angle was stupid and pathetic. And I don't think the writers themselves believe that. You're telling me that this girl who was so immature that she alienated everyone in her family, her friends, dated a drug dealer, tried to seduce people's boyfriends, yeah, this girl was so mature that she kept the identity of Gossip Girl all along. She was so mature that she never used Gossip Girl as a way to advance her fashion career. The one she was so desperate about that she crashed Eleanor's fashion show just to get her designs public. And number 3, perhaps the biggest smoking gun that Gossip Girl never even addressed, Diana Payne. So you're telling me that Dan knew all along that Chuck's father was still alive? Remember when the Gossip Girl website got hacked? Gossip Girl used her phone number to blackmail Diana, that she was going to reveal this damning information that no one knows about her, the information being that Chuck's father was still alive. How could he possibly know that? Having information about his classmates is one thing, but knowing about Chuck's father? I mean, his connections don't run that deep. And that solidified my stance that Dan was never Gossip Girl, and even the show never addressed that because they knew they were bullshitting. Also, Dan has a half-brother in case you forgot. And the real issue here is not Dan himself. It's the fact that the writers clearly did not plan this. Because if Dan was always meant to be Gossip Girl, then the clues would line up. The contradictions wouldn't be this loud. This seems like a last-minute twist that they forced in for shock value. The only person I'd believe was Gossip Girl was this girl. She's smart, she's a writer, she's part of the Upper East Side, so she can get access to personal information. She's also not part of the Blair and Serena inner circle, and they don't treat her well, so she has a reason to put defamatory statements about them.
No, hi, go! Before the Women's Wear Daily reporter shows up and thinks that I consort with fake Dior carrying wannabes.
Also, she's unsuspecting enough that no one really thinks of her, so she can move in the shadows pretty well. At least with her, it would make narrative sense. She has motive, she has access, and she's invisible enough to operate without suspicion. And that's what Gossip Girl should be. Someone hiding in plain sight, not someone reacting to the same post that they supposedly wrote.
Also spotted Lonely Boy's baby mama looking like one hot mama on the beach in St. Bart's. If she's flown the coop, who's cleaning up her baby's poop?
And I know people also thought that Dorota was Gossip Girl and should have been Gossip Girl, but I don't think so. They humanized her a lot in the later seasons for her to be Gossip Girl. They showed how much she loved Blair as if she were her own daughter, and she would do anything for her. So she would not put damning information about her like that. If she was just another maid in the background, sure. She was in a position where she could get a lot of gossip in the background without being noticeable. She was the right candidate for Gossip Girl, but they humanized her and, in my opinion, disqualified her. In the end, just like Lady Whistledown, Gossip Girl's identity was never meant to be revealed. They didn't even have to reveal it. The whole premise of the show is that you'll never know who she is, and she literally says that in nearly every episode.
And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell.
No one should know who she is. Just know that she's powerful, she has ears everywhere, and she's watching you. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please tell me down below who you thought Gossip Girl should be, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe!